Hello, coders. Good afternoon. It's 21:08, a little bit late, and I've just realised the camera isn't working. Ugh, this is very frustrating. Essentially, what I want to do today is fix a bug in on How to Code Well, which is the description. Give me a second whilst I click all the right buttons. My camera, where's that gone? Oh, that's annoying. Anyway, this here is the issue. So, this was just coming out of the content and off of the API. But what I am doing is adding. I've got TinyMCE on here, and what I'm doing is I'm adding content to this. And I just thought, well, hang on, let's just see if it runs. I totally forgot that I didn't parse the HTML in this section. So I just thought I would just jump on and fix this because it looks really, really bad, doesn't it? Still no camera. That's really annoying. Let me see if I can get the... bear with me 1 second whilst I try and sort that out. It would probably be... So, looking on OBS, a second, the camera's on. Yeah, it's just not picking it up. Okay, we're gonna have to use the crummy little camera there in the middle of the iMac, and I'm gonna have to stand over here just to get myself in shot. That's annoying. Oh, the things you do. Okay, so this is coming from, in the portal, it's coming from SRC, and it's in templates. It is the lessons template. And you see here, this is what's happening. It's just bunging it all in a P tag. And what I need is for this to be parsed as HTML. So that's what we're gonna fix up today. Okay, so let's just get everything in view. I have been playing with this afternoon or this evening, and obviously all my windows are a little bit out of line. Excuse me. Okay, right. So I guess this is no longer going to be in a p tag, and this will need to be parsed somehow. I think there's this sort of HTML argument that you can pass to Gatsby. But first, let's see if we can actually get it running locally, because this is on the beta site, and I need to get this running off of port 8000. So let's see if we can get that done. Okay, cool. So let's hit login and log in. Okay, brilliant. Let's go to courses. Click on this one. Now, this is going to be tricky because this is beta. This is local, running 2 different databases. So if I click on here, actually no, sorry. This I have. It's not 2 different databases. It's running the same API. That's fair enough. Okay, so, local is pointing to the staging API. Okay, that's good. That's good for me. That's cool. Okay, so how do I do this? I'm not too sure how to do this. So let's have a Gatsby JS HTML, and can we render HTML? That would be great. Page HTML generation. Okay, so Webpack, static entry. I don't think this is what we need. Create HTML React container. Nope. Customizing HTML. Render HTML tags in the front matter. Okay. Dangerously set inner HTML. That seems more like it, doesn't it? Yeah. That seems more like it. Let's give that a blast, shall we? I'm assuming this is the what it is. You know, the I don't know. Losing my words. This would be the data element, data property. So I'm gonna grab that, give it a go. Right. So let's put that into there and put that in here. Get rid of this. Let's just comment that out for a second and see what ESLint is complaining about. Spacing. Okay, let's now go over to here. Oh, look at that! It's done. Oh well, that's that. That's I thought that was going to take me. I thought that was going to take me hours. Ah, dear. Right. Well, that's it. End of the stream. No. There's some more I can do. Obviously, at the moment, I'm still curating all of this content. What I would like to do is list the tags of this particular tutorial. This tutorial in question is the HTML for beginners, the basics. And what I'll do is I will also include this on the actual course itself. So when we go over to courses and click on the course, there is this bit here, and there is also this bit here. And really, I would like to have another piece. So let's get rid of that for a second. I can do that. I really should be doing this in another branch. Whoops. Totally forgot about that. Features or bugs. Doesn't really matter. Bugs. And this is content. HTML. Because essentially what I would like to have, is to have the... For each of these tutorials in here, each one of these things would have their own tutorial description. So if I was to click on links, for instance, you would have the links description here. So that it's going to take a bit of time, isn't it, to actually go through each one of these tutorials in the CMS and update that. That's quite a challenge, but it's one I have to do. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but it's just another. Well, it's just a challenge, a task. Okay, so on the actual tutorial page, which is here, right? This is fine. This is okay. I'm okay with that. But it's the actual courses page. I kind of want to dress this up a little bit. And if we went over to, hang on a minute. I got to check my. Bear with me a second. Okay, give me a minute. All right. So, the actual course itself. Sorry if I seem a little bit distracted. It's because I've got a script running on a laptop, and it just came up with something, and I just gotta. The Bluetooth mouse or trackpad isn't set up. Why? I'm not having a good techie evening today. My camera's not working, and I have this message on my laptop that says Bluetooth mouse or trackpad setup. Assistant. There isn't a wireless mouse or trackpad connected, and it's the actual trackpad on the MacBook. So why it can't find that, I don't know. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'll have to fix that somehow another time. Right. What was I doing? I was doing the this thing in the courses page. So Oh, I've got it. Marvelous. Good. Okay. Okay. It's this bit. You will learn. You will learn. And it's giving a sort of a list here, isn't it? An LI of the title. And it's doing that. So really, I kind of want this this section to be a little bit above it, to be honest. And this section would be, if we went to the markup. Sorry, that's beta. That's it needs to be deployed. This fix, obviously. If we went to get off of that. If we went to the course and then had a look at the edit of this course, you have this bit here, understanding the basics of building websites in HTML5. Now, I've got a feeling that is what's up here. So, let me double check that a second. Yeah, here we go. I'm not overly happy about that, to be fair. I'd rather that be like a subtitle or something, and then have a content to go in the middle. Okay. Right, I'm going to just load up the API a minute, and I'm just going to have a look and see. As you can tell, I've been working on this. This is a little nifty script that I created earlier. This anonymize command will loop over users and update their credentials and their first names and last names and email addresses in an anonymous fashion, meaning that I can pull down the database from staging or even production and then run this script, and then, no sensitive data I will see. It will be anonymous. But anyway, that's by the by. That was something I did earlier. I want to have a look and see what the entity is like on the course on here. So let's have a look at the properties right at the top. So we've got a title, got code, we've got an external subtitle. We have subtitle. Right. We have content. So I'm wondering if we could use subtitle, and I'm just trying to work out where, if anywhere, I've actually got this. If we had a look at here, we've got subtitle, here we go. There's the subtitle. Learn the basics of HTML5. Understand the basics of building websites in HTML5. So, am I correct then in thinking that, whoops, if I get to the right project, in course, this should be subtitle, and this should be title. No, sorry, that's the alt, that's fine. This should be subtitle, that should be title, that's correct. And then we would have like a content section bit here. Let's give that a blast and give that a whirl. So this would be sub_title, as long as it's coming back through the properties, of course. Yes, it is. Good. And then we would have our dangerously set in a HTML code, and that would sit here, I think. And I need to work out how. So we've got result attributes, that's then tutorials, then map. And if I looked at this, it would be result attributes subtitle. So this should be down here, result attributes, and that should be content, just like that. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. And then up here. That's not so bad. I guess what I could do is let's because I am connected to the staging site. I suppose I could play around with this a wee bit, and I could say learn the basics of HTML5 or learn how to. I mean, I'm gonna work this all out. To be honest, all the copy, how to create websites with HTML5 and then give this a heading. Woo. How many parts is this? This is a 1, 2, 3, 7. Says it there. In this 7-part HTML5 tutorial, you will learn how to the basics of HTML. How many times can you say HTML5? Of creating web pages. Web pages using HTML5. I just want something for an example, to be fair. Let's just do that. And let's update this. And then through the power of the command line, let's pull that all down. Is it? Hang on a minute. Let me see. No, it's not a battery issue. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Sorry, I'm tinkering with my laptop at the same time. Let's. There we are. Set the display to not fall asleep on battery for a long time. We should already have that, right? Okay, here we go. Refresh. Understand the basics of building HTML5. Is that what I've just said, or have I said something else? I can't remember. I'm a little distracted tonight. Let's hit edit on this. Learn how to create websites with HTML5. That is not what I've just put in. No, learn the basics. This is definitely running against. I'm getting an query was not run and cached result was not found. Getting a lot of errors on HTML forms. Can't see any errors on the actual. Sorry, a lot of errors after that build. Error loading a result for the page query. But nothing on that particular course. How strange. Okay, this is a bit weird. So, it's not a caching thing, is it? Let's just go into incognito mode. Incognito mode. No, it's not a caching thing. Well, that sucks. It's definitely the. Hang on a minute. Have I put this in the wrong place? We've got the URLs. Oh, you will learn. So yeah, it should be here. Should be somewhere around there. View, developer, toolbars. Let's just make sure it hasn't sort of lost itself. Understanding Understand the basics of building websites using HTML5. That has now been changed to this. HTML5. Let's do course here. Oh, I see what I've done wrong. I'm updating the wrong website. That's why. Oh dear. This is why. I'm not paying any attention as to what I'm doing. That's why. Jeez. Hey, thank you, Apollo GraphQL, rating me with 11. Awesome. That's lovely. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. I hope you've set the emotes off. Woo! That's really cool. Hey, hope you had a good raid, stream. I'm having a good raid. I hope you had a good stream. So I just jumped on just to fix a couple of bugs, and the thing is, I've got other things that are running at the moment, and I'm trying to keep half an eye on some scripts that I'm running and all sorts going on here. And I've just realized I've updated the wrong bloody website. Oh dear. Right, let's log on to the staging site. Okay. Give me a second. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Whilst I sort this out. Just need to refresh this and put that in. Typically, my browser hasn't saved that, or I haven't saved the credentials. Oh, well, that sucks. I may have to try this in... Oh, don't tell me it doesn't work. That's just rude. I did a deployment about 10 minutes after the... it works now. That's cool. All right, good. And let's go to courses. There we go. Right, we're back in the saddle. I had to use a different browser because I've got a feeling I've screwed up something cachy on here. Anyway, so we were playing around with this here, and I messed up, and I put the this in the production site rather than in the Is that done now? Yeah, that's done now. Rather in the staging site. That's silly. Not that any of these features are actually available in the production site at the moment, because they're all turned off. Good. Right. So, it was a rough one, but you had fun. Oh, I hope it wasn't that rough. Too rough. Why was it rough? I want to know. Trevor Blades, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You kind of have caught me at a very flustered time, because I am literally multitasking whilst trying to keep an eye on various things off stream. Okay. So essentially, what we've done. Let's bring it back. Right. So this is this is how to code well. I have a YouTube channel, Twitch, podcast, and other bits and pieces. And essentially, the website that we are building is that I've been doing for a while now is howtocodewell.net, and these are the courses that I have here. Some of them, so load them all up. So at the moment, these go off to the relevant YouTube playlists. But in the next phase, the phase that we're currently working on, we are working on a way of having your own login account. And with that, you can access various different courses that aren't available to, say, the free users. But you can create a free account if you wanted to. This isn't live yet. This is just stuff that we're working on in beta. And one of the features is when you click on an actual course, you can actually see the course material, each of the tutorials. Whereas at the moment, if I went to howtocodewell.net and then just clicked on one of these, it's just going to bounce me straight to YouTube, to the playlist. So this sprint, I suppose you could call it, is we'll have the user account bits. So you log in and all of that stuff and register. But it's also got the ability to create or to have an embedded player here. And we are currently working through this part of the thing by creating some content. There's a lot of copy and stuff that I need to do and work to actually get the content up and ready. But something that I've just been playing with is getting the HTML that is coming from our wherever it's gone now, CMS that we built in Symfony. So I added TinyMCE relatively earlier to this, like last night, and I'm just sort of playing around with this and getting it back into the GraphQL, and then getting the GraphQL to then read on the Gatsby page. So there's a content management system that's written in Symfony. There is an API written in Symfony. These are all in Docker containers. There is this that's on Gatsby, and then when you do a build, it pulls all the stuff in, connects all the dots. And then this is the How to Code Well portal. This is the How to Code Well website. Eventually. This sprint, I say it's a sprint. This sprint has taken a long, long time because there's all sorts of little niggles in this. So I'm probably going to jump from PHP to Gatsby today. I do that anyway, right? All over the place. Okay, so what I was doing was I was playing around with this bit here. So dangerously set in a HTML. This is coming off of the attributes content, which was originally up in here as the subtitle. So I've just changed that now. And what I can do is save this, because essentially that's going to change. If we went over to the course itself, that should change this bit here. This bit. So this is a list of all the tutorials within the course. But this here is what we're playing with at the moment, which should be this section here, this bit. So let's do a quick build again. So this will pull down all the tutorials, all the content, everything from the staging site, from the staging's API. And then, fingers crossed, we would have replaced that bit in the middle. Excuse me, I've just had a beer. I just had a beer. My wife was like, "Are you gonna do any streaming tonight?" And I was like, "Nah." And then I thought, "There's this issue that I need to fix." So that's why I'm jumping on. But I don't normally have a beer before streaming. I'm all gassy. Right, here we go. Not that you wanted to know that, of course. Let's refresh this page, and we should... Oh, that's annoying. Why hasn't that changed? That's so strange. Like, we've saved this, right? And I'm on the right site. Staging-cms.howtocodewell.net is the place to be, right? So, am I going to have to load this up via Postman, perhaps, and actually have a look at the API requests? I think I'm going to have to do that, aren't I? And work out why it's not being pulled through. Or I probably haven't pressed the save button Either one of those two. It's going to make me look foolish. Come on. Come on. There's a lot in this. When you watch me stream, there's a lot of waiting around for the things to happen like this and the tests and everything. Because the API and the CMS, that we've got some API tests, acceptance tests, and unit tests, and we got about 400, maybe 5. Unit tests don't take long at all, but it's the API tests that just take ages because they drop the database. And here we go. Yeah, it was me. I didn't press save. Cool. Okay. All right. I mean, it looks terrible. It looks like a pub poster. But there's potential. What I might do is put this in the middle and then move these down. So this would be full width, and then move both of these down so they're at the same height. So let's have a little gander on that. We use Tailwind for this stuff. So that's the you will learn section here. And then we have down here, we have the add section. To be fair, all of these really should be in their own little React components, to be honest, because they are sort of small sections of the sort of modular areas of the page. But what I might do is just bung this up a wee bit, just to see, like this is in Flex here, so it's probably wise to put this down there, and then wait for that to hot reload. That's better. I mean, it's still not fantastic. I think I would prefer, and this is the problem, you see. I've got the TinyMCE is dealing with the this here, and it would be awesome if this was in the middle, right? If this main title was in the middle. So I would need to wrap this around like in a container div, and then deal with that through CSS. Yeah, unless I was naughty in the actual sorry, I'm jumping about here. In here I was to grab that and just say put it in the center. Let's just bring this back down here. I don't know. It depends. The thing is, if I would have to remember to do that for each one, and that would be shit. So let's not do that. I guess really the styles off of the back of the TinyMCE should be really proper basic, probably without any CSS whatsoever, and then let the front end deal with that. Yeah. Okay, so let's say, for instance, we have a little a div. Can I put a div on here? Can I say that this is a maybe an ID, and give this an ID of I don't know, like course content, something like that, and then from the actual CSS reference that. Unfortunately, we can't use the Tailwind utility classes to do what I'm trying to achieve, because those utility classes would have to be on the H1, you see. So what I would need to do in order to get that in the middle, here, without playing around with this, is to in styles app.css, or is it layout? I always forget which one I put it in. It's quite possibly in layout. Let's just put it at the bottom. Let's just play with it. So let's say we have course content, and let's do background color and give this a nasty background color, just to make it absolutely obvious that this is what I'm working on. So border is equal to 1 pixel. Red. Right, let's There we go. Okay, so the board didn't work, but anyway, we can now have access to this. You see, so I can do content H1, and I can do text align center like so, and that should bung it in the middle. Excellent. Now I really only want to do this on the first one, right? So how does one do this? I suppose you would do something like first type, right? Or first of type, first of line, first of type. There we go. So let's do, that's cool. And then to test this, we could do this is a test, and then put in another H1, something like blah blah blah, whatever, and then update, and then rebuild the whole site. Yep, good. I'm running scripts for something on my laptop for something else, and I've just got to keep an eye on it. That's all. That's why I'm looking over here. Just keeping an eye on things like the battery levels. I'm trying to get out of the habit of leaving my laptop on full battery charge all day. I don't think it helps. I don't think it really helps the battery if you do that. I don't know. I don't know if they're smart enough to turn off, but anyway, that's by the by. Let's aha, okay, no, that did fail miserably. So that's now gone to the left-hand side, and now that's also gone to the left. So that didn't work. If I was to remove this, that's gone. Okay, that wasn't what I expected. I wanted this to go to the left, as well as this. Why has it just gone to that? Let's just make sure that that is this should be a H1. It is. I need to make this box bigger. This here is H1 as well. So how come? Oh, that's been forced to go to the left, and that hasn't been. Oh man. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch out for that. Can I untick that? Damn. Okay. Scuppered by my own button pressing. Now I've got to build the whole thing again. Ugh. I was thinking the other earlier on, as I was taking the dog out for the walk, how best to do the content, because we've got the staging site, we've also got development site, and we've got production site. So I obviously want to get all the content nice and shiny up on the staging site, because that's the thing I'm going to be using to test with. It's also the thing that the beta testers on the Discord server can access. But there will need to be a migration piece from the beta site or staging site, whatever you want to call it, over to production. And that's going to be quite painful, because just the sheer number, if I was to click on courses again, just the sheer number of all of these. So like this one, for instance, Docker for Beginners, 11 tutorials. Linux Bash for Beginners, 15 tutorials. These are huge numbers in terms of numbers of content to migrate over. So, and I kind of need to, I kind of want to do it in some sort of automated way. So, like, let's say, I mean, ideally, wouldn't it be awesome if there was a button that I created on this CMS that when I clicked sort of approve, it would fire this off to production. That would be awesome. So you would, yeah, either that, or of course, some form of copying, pasting, or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's now gone into the left, the middle, and then that's in the middle too. That's not what we wanted. What I wanted to try out was the first child thing, the first type. which was this. Come on. Come on. There we go. That's better. Okay. Now, obviously, this isn't. This will be more than just a string of text. It's going to be a paragraph. So that's okay. We're obviously going to get rid of this, and I'll have to come up with the copy later. Don't know where the images have gone, because the images are there in the beta site, so I don't know where they've gone. Anyway, right. That's kind of what I wanted to do in terms of the front end tonight, to get that sort of sorted. I guess what I can do is, because there's still a couple of minutes left, there's a while back on the stream. The last stream I was talking about Elasticsearch and getting things ready for that. I wonder if there's anything else I can do for that. Essentially, what I would like to have on the homepage is, if I can click on the homepage, you're going to let me go to the homepage. Please let me go to the homepage. Or are you building? I think you're building. You're building. I'm being impatient. Okay, so on the homepage, I want to have a search box, and we were coming up with the design or the specification, at least, for this. So you'll have a text box and then a search button, and it would go off. It would fire an API. That API would then access Elasticsearch and search for courses. It would search for the podcast. It would search through the blog for the relevant results, and then it would sort of like associate them and deal with the scoring and the relevancy of those things. We are a way off. I haven't even got Docker. I haven't even got Elasticsearch running in Docker yet, so we're way off. But what I have been trying to do is preparing the back end for that. Let me just commit this code in. So let's just double check a couple of things. That's all good. And the course, and then the lessons there. There we go. I can change it. Yes, that we changed that to be. That's it. In HTML. Okay, let me just put in adding or rendering HTML from API in tutorial and course pages. Templates, even. They are templates. Let's get that right. Templates, if I can't spell it. Templates, plates. Alright, I will push this later. Run the tests and all that jazz. But what I'm going to do... thank you for following. Oh gosh, your username is tricky. Andrew... Can I just call you Andrew? Thank you for following. I appreciate it. AJ. Awesome. Thank you for following. Aja. Thank you. My pronunciation of things is terrible. From Chile. I've never been to Chile. Hope you're all staying well and safe and healthy in these crazy times. So this is the back end. As I said, this is built in Symfony, and it creates the APIs and the CMS. We had this all running in a bunch of microservices a long time ago, and then that got very, very complicated extremely fast, and I decided to put this back into sort of a monolith, and it's working out okay. Yeah, get that. So Elasticsearch. Okay, so essentially what I'm thinking of doing, we did a bunch of stuff last time to do with sort of laying some of the foundations for this. There's a lot more to do. For example, let me think. Yeah, in the schemas, that's where it was. Yeah. So these schemas are the schemas that come back to or build the API. So for example, you would have let's find one tutorial schema, for instance. Hang on a minute, that's not a good example. Course. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yes, this is an okay example, I suppose. So yes, this is an array that gets returned in JSON. This is the attributes because we're using the JSON API specification, and I put these in constants last time because these constants are going to be used for the Elasticsearch schema, or the schemaless schema in Elasticsearch. And because they share, the JSON API and Elasticsearch are going to share that set of schemas, I didn't want to duplicate, and my spelling is terrible, so I didn't want to screw that up. So this is why I've got everything in constants. So these are the constants here. So this is what comes back. These are like the keys that come back on the arrays that are encoded in the JSON API, which will be used in Elasticsearch. And Elasticsearch, we're going to need to index associative arrays, which look very similar to the get attributes method in these classes here. So like course view. Another juicy one is course schema. You also have a user schema, and then you've got things like relationships and all of that stuff. You don't have to worry about this in Elasticsearch so much. So this builds the API, and what happens is that we have so let's take it from the top. In the controller, if we go to controller and then have a look at, I don't know, let's pick on one, for example, the course controller, the index here. It is checking whether you're you're a system or a user. If not, it throws you out, and then it gets the type and defaults it to free, and then finds all of those by the package, so whether it's free or whether it's a premium course, and then it sends the courses into the JSON encoder, and then it gets the JSON response. The JSON response runs the processor, or processes the data. This is what you've got back from the repository. And this here is our schema. Not schema. This is the public fields. Sorry, that relate to that schema. So in fairness, all of this needs to be done in the constants too. Yeah, but in terms of Elasticsearch, it's slightly different, because this is retrieving information, and what I want to do with Elasticsearch, of course, is index information. Let's create a branch. We created one. I've rolled it up into develop already, but let's create another one called features, and then let's do search v2, because essentially what I need to do is create some commands to do this. Obviously, when we get Elasticsearch running in the Docker container, then we can then actually index it against something, and then when this goes up to staging and production, we'll be using obviously AWS stuff. So what should we do first up? I guess we should write some little snippets of arrays, and run some tests to make sure that those arrays are what we say they are. That's probably a good start. And I suppose we should probably start on, I guess course is a good place. Let's just close all the things just to free our minds up a little bit. I'm going to start where we should start, and I'm going to start on a test. We're going to start on a unit test, and like I said, we got lots of tests. I suppose I should really run them first, just to make sure that everything is working as it should. Let's just run the unit tests. I'm not going to run all of them. I'll tell you what, let's just run. No, I'm in the wrong place, aren't I? I'm in the wrong place. There we go. I want to do make test unit. Let's just run the unit. So I'm not going to run the others, the APIs and the acceptance tests, because they would take yonks. I should have got them running whilst I was talking, to be honest. Okay, cool. So they're good. Let's create a folder in here called search, and let's create some the course index. And let's just play with something. There's going to be an index for, say, the courses. There's going to be an index for the blog. There's going to be an index for the podcast. Fine. But really, that boils down in an abstract way to just a document that has that goes to an index. So I was thinking about how to best to structure this, and you could argue just create a class for each one of your indexes, but really I think that's a little bit over the top. I think what I need to do is create an index class, which is an abstract, not an abstract class, but it's sort of it's abstract in the way that it can hold any kind of document. So we're going to have let's do search index or search document. Yeah, now we're getting into the real confusing parts where let's just call it document. Naming things is very difficult. Document. I suppose also what I should do is get Elasticsearch, get some documentation running. Get some documentation going, just to remind myself of what it is that I'm trying to achieve. So it's essentially this. This is how you would index a document, right? So you would have an associative array where you would have an index, and that would be the index name, the name that you would want to use. You would also have an ID and a unique ID for the document. So this would make up the document, and then you would have the document body. So in that case, we should have, and I'm just gonna steal this, because I'm lazy. I'm just gonna steal all this and the unit tester, and I'm gonna bung it into here for a second. This should be document test, and that should be renamed to document test as well. Refactor rename. And we'll change that to be search. Okay, so I can't remember, how do they end up with tests and all that stuff? It's just test and then the thing. Okay, cool. So I want to do a public function, and this is going to seem really noddy. So test create, and I suppose what we should do is have like a factory class that creates these things. So let's call this make, and so this is going to test the make function. So let's make up a factory. Let's do document index factory is equal to new document index factory, which doesn't exist yet, but I want to have a document index, and I want to do make. In fact, let's just rename this to be document factory rather than document index factory, because that doesn't sound right. And in the make routine, I want to supply an index name, right? I also want to supply an ID, and I also want to supply a body. So this is essentially going to be all of this stuff. Hey, Marco DB. Hey. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thank you. I'm doing good. Just thought I would jump on. It's a bit dark in here because my camera that I usually use decided that it wasn't going to connect. So I'm using the iMac camera, which is really, really bad. This is a 2015 model iMac that I'm on. Really, really dark. Didn't realize how dark it was. But no, I'm good. I'm good, thank you. I hope you're well. We're playing with a little bit more Elasticsearch. I was playing with a bit of Gatsby before. You know how it rolls. And what I'm doing now is just creating some tests. I'm creating a factory here, a document factory, to basically create a structure like this, really. So, oh man, I've forgotten how do you do, it's just this assert, yeah, come on. This is the problem when you play around with too many languages and it's late at night and you've had a beer. It's this assert. Right, assert same, good. Okay, let's say that from here we get a document. And we want to do document. We want to make sure that the get index name is the same as the index name that we supplied. Excuse me. So let's do before we do get too far down the road, let's create a data provider. So public function. Let's do index data, document data. Provider. Provider. Okay. This is going to return an array of this stuff, right? So we're going to have data document. Actually, we could just do index name. We could do ID, and we could also do body. Okay, this would be a string. This would be an ID, an int, and this would be a array. Excuse me. So what we want to do is return an array of arrays where the index name is equal to, what are we going to call this? Course? Something like that. Let's call the ID. You know, surprise, surprise there. No surprises. Come on. So let's do 1, 2, 3, and it's an integer. And let's do the body, which is a array here, and let's say that the course has a title, and we're going to call this my test course, and we're going to have a I don't know, content. I'm just making this up. Hello world, right? Okay, so that gets passed in, and I think because I'm supplying an array of arrays, this data provider here, which needs to be set as document data provider, I've got a feeling this comes back as an array now. So let's do document. So I've got a feeling this would be make, and then this would be index name, and then this would be ID, right? And then this would be body. And then, so we're going to make sure that that is the same as that. Now, none of this exists. This is just coming out of my head. It's just coming out of my head. So we also want to make sure that the ID is the same, and we'll deal with the arrays in a second. We're going to run this. It's going to fall flat on its face, as per expected. Get ID, because none of this exists. So we'll give this a group, at group. We're going to give this a group of search, and we're going to give it another group, because there's going to be more than one test, sure. Make. Let's get into the Docker container here. Let's do bash. Boom. And then let's do a Docker. No, let's not do Docker. That's not a good idea. Let's do bin. I have to do this in the container because I need to do code set run unit. I need to do it by G, which is grouping of search make. So this is now going to run that one singular test, and it's going to fail because test make doesn't exist, because the array, hang on a minute, argument 1 pass 2 must be array, type of array, string is given. What? No, that's not how that's not what I thought would happen. Maybe that is the index. Really? Okay. Alright, I stand corrected. Quite literally standing up. Corrected. Okay, fine. Right, fine, whatever. And body. No, that does make sense, doesn't it? Because this is for each one of these. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, no, I was wrong. It's certainly not the first time. It definitely won't be the last. All right, let's put in ID and the body back in. Actually get these tests run first, right? There we go. Document factory doesn't exist, so let's go and build it. This should be a string. Let's sort these out. This should be an ID, an int. Let's and this should be an array. And that's an array. Okay, cool. So what we're doing here is we're basically defining the specification. I'm basically throwing code on the page. Doesn't yet exist, but this is just my brain processing how we would actually do this. So, okay, we would have a document factory. The document factory would live in search. So we've defined that. Search. We've agreed that it's going to be called document factory and not document index factory. It is a factory of documents. I mean, come on. Hold on, give me a second. That's good. Okay. Right. So we're gonna create a class. We're gonna create a class here. Class document factory. Give it a namespace, of course. Namespace, and the namespace is app, and then search. Nope, that's not what I wanted. PHP Storm, thank you. And it's gonna have a public function, and we're gonna call it make function. Come on. Can't type. Function make. Thank you. And I haven't decided what it's going to return yet. So let's run the tests. It should hopefully find that document factory and then give me another error. TDD in your face. Yes, so no, it hasn't found that. Is that because my namespacing is wrong? Yes, I need to actually use it, don't I? Use document factory. Yes, and let's get rid of all of those. Yes, get index name on null. Marvelous. So, this needs to return a document. So let's go and do this. Assert instance of, it should be document class. That's the expected. And the actual is document. Again, let's run those. This doesn't exist. Okay, so let's go and create that. That would be in document here. Okay, in search, where are we? Where's it gone? Search. And we'll just call this document. Okay. So, in our document factory, we would return a new document. Come on, tell me I've got a problem. Thank you. Get indexed by name, call to undefined method, document get indexed by name. Okay, so now we've got the document, we can now start populating. Essentially, this is a bit like an entity, really, if you think about it. So we've got a private private thing here, which is index name. We also have a private thing in here. Let's just sort out the typing. That reminds me as well. Let me just grab one of these jobbies. Put that in there and in there. Hey, and in there too. Why not? Okay. So private string. That's the index name. Next on the hit list is what else did I say? So ID, and that's an int, right? And then we've got the actual body, which is an array. Okay. And let's do some getters and setters. Yes, please. Okay, so let's run that. The factory still isn't making these things. Gotcha. So in here, we need to pass in index name, ID, and body, wasn't it? That is the array, that is the integer, and this is the string. Woo! Now, this will be the document, so we'll do document is equal to new document. We can do document set index name is index name. We could do set hang on a minute. That's not right. Hang on, set index name, return this. Is that the only thing I did? Dear me. Awesome. Set ID is ID. Now you're probably thinking, why have I done it like this? And I'm thinking that too. But okay, let me try that again. Come on. All right. Failed at setting that null is an instance of class search document. Really? Oh yes. Okay, good. So the idea I had in my mind whilst I was doing this was the fact that this factory could be making different types of indexes. So for example, and so this document would be the base, like a base document, but we could be supplying, say, a type in here. So, and we could run it off of the index name. So, for example, we could have a switch statement in here. And we could have like a case course, and this could document is equal to new course document. See where I'm going with this? We could have case blog is equal to document blog document, and so on and so forth. Obviously these don't exist and I haven't got any tests for them yet. And then you would have your default document. That's kind of what I was thinking. And it would then be up to, in the set body routine, you would have like on the break here, you'd have another method sort of on here that does translate or something, or transform. Because there's going to be different roles for different things to be searched on. Excuse me. And these two would extend document. Maybe, I don't know. I am literally making this up as I go, which is the enjoyment of live coding. Okay. All right. Let's get back to the tests. Let's get some grounding going. That's okay. So, let's get rid of that for a second, and the switch statement. I will redo those in a second. So, what we're saying is we would like to, based on the index, we want to come back with, and we're supplying the course. We would like this to come back as a course document. We're going to passing in the body and the index name and so forth. So let's run that. That should fail, obviously. It should tell us that Oh no, it should tell us that that P can't program. There we go. Okay, cool. So in wherever it lives now in our search folder, we're going to have type, and let's just put that in there. Just put that in there, please. I don't want to search for references. Just put it in there. Thank you. Let's have this as course document. And let's get rid of all of this stuff. Let's get rid of everything, actually, apart from. Okay, that's fine. Let's just get rid of all of that for a second. And this is now in type. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename document. You know, I said at the start that we were just going to have one abstract document. I actually think that it's not a good idea. Just because I'm thinking ahead as I'm doing this. I'm thinking that I'm going to need to write different rules for the indexes for each of the documents. So, for example, lowercasing certain things, or stripping out HTML out of certain things. Like, for instance, the HTML that we've just put in our Gatsby content. So, anyway, I'm going to create this as an abstract class. No. Let's just rename that. That's all I want you to do. Okay, fine. PHP Storm these days, just getting a little bit too intelligent. This is going to be in types. Is it type or types? What have I done? Type. And this is going to be our abstract class. We'll change all this to be protected. Like so. Okay, and so this here will extend the abstract, whatever I've called it, abstract document. Okay. And then let's just, for giggles, this needs to be. There we go. So, can I get these tests to work now? So, if we go over to course document, here we go, document test. So this is course document. There we go. Right. So let's run those. Just test the refactoring is all in wired up. Everything's good. Come on. Yep. Okay, so excellent. So what I would like to do now is create another one for the blog. There we go. And I would like to write a test. So this is make course. Actually, okay, let's make courses. So this is course data provider. Whoops. And we'll also have blog data provider. I will adjust this as my test blog as it goes on, but I just want to. So this is make test course. This is. And this is make blogs. We're going to just get rid of that for a second, and we're going to make sure that that comes back as a blog document. And I don't want this to be called document test anymore. I want to call this document factory test. So we're testing the factory, not the actual... Well, we are testing the actual things, but we're testing the factory. So let's rename that in here. Okay. That's going to fail, isn't it? Let's do search. Let's just come out of that and go search. That should search both of them now. Nope, they've got a failure. Failed asserting course document is the same as blog document. Okay. Okay, yes, this is the thing that we've done wrong here. So we need to change that to be blog, which we have, and then we're going to go to the document factory, and we're going to check. This is where the switch comes in. So switch index name, and we'll do case. I mean, yeah, whatever. Could it be a if statement? I suppose it could be. So that's the course. In fact, we just need this. That's all we need. And we could be a little bit more clever with this, of course, in the sense of polymorphic. We could do something like document. Although I'm not a fan. I was going to say we could use the that as a name, as a class. No. Let's do it. Let's just do a switch. It's easier. Index name. Case is course. Can't wait to use the match in PHP 8. That's going to be awesome. Blog. Always do that. So this is our blog document. And we'll break that. And yeah, that's good. That's good. We can do if. Let's do document up here is equal to null. We can do if document instance of abstract document. If that's not the case, then we throw exception. Let's do a runtime exception. Find the thing. Cannot create index with index name. Okay. All right. Hey, Mr. DB303. Thank you for joining this evening. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so we got this switch statement here. I am not a fan of this, to be fair. To be honest, it's not a nice thing to do. Not really. Nah. Then we got the courses and the blog documents. Okay, let's run the tests again. Make blogs instance of blog document. Okay, there's still a problem there. Blog document make index name. Index name is coming off of course data provider, that's why. Okay, let's run the test. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, we're cooking on gas, sort of. Okay. So what I would like to do is create an interface between these things. So up in here, in search, I want to create an interface. I want to call this, surprise, surprise, document interface. And yeah, literally making this up as I go. Interface, document interface. We're gonna have a public function transform, I think. It's going to return a void, I think. I don't know. Essentially, like, what I would like to do, right, is if I... Yeah, okay, I'll explain it more in a test. I think that's probably best. If we did type in here, and we did document, let's do course document test. Alright, essentially, let's get rid of this. I don't need that, or I don't need that either for this example. Let's do test transform content. In fact, I think instead of transform, I think it should be called clean, right? And I think what we should have, I mean, I'm really making this up, really making this up. Like, I've got no, I think this needs to be clean, because essentially what I would like to do is in here, I want to do not a factory. We don't need the factory for this. Let's do document here is equal to a new course document, and we're going to do document set body, right? And we've got content in here. And imagine this content is going to go up to the indexer, and this content is going to have a p tag in it, and this is going to be in fact, we can use we can use what we've just done. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that. So wherever that browser tab's gone, here we go. So if we clicked on edit on this one, right, it's this stuff, right? I don't know if that's gonna, yeah, it will. Well, no, it won't. Anyway, this was a H1. This was a P. So we've gone and we've set the content like so, right? And then what I would like to do is document clean. Okay. And then I would like to do this assert same. Now the expected would be this, but cleaned. So let's do dirty, 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 is equal to this. And then clean, or in the testing world it would be actual and expected, right? So let's get rid of, so basically my cleanup is to strip the tags, right? So then we would do clean here, and then we would assert that document get body. So let's do body here. Body is equal to content is clean. That's essentially what I'm thinking. Let's put that into here. So it would run through the array, and it would clean out various things. So this is the interface that I was talking about, right? So let's get rid of the data provider. We don't need that. This is in. Okay, cool. So and we don't need any of this as well. That's fine. Not for this test. And why is it red? What's going on there? Expected a semicolon. Ugh. Do you really? Okay, so yeah. Idea being is that we have a course document here, and we have a blog document there. Now each of these are going to have different bodies, right? That get set on the abstract. We have an interface here with clean in it, and both of these then need to implement the document interface and implement clean. So we'll do that in the course document as well. And the idea is that I want to do if is set this get body content. Now we could actually use the schema, what we did earlier, right? Schema, the constants, content. There we go. So if let's just do body here, because this doesn't read well for me. And then we do. It always throws me when it comes up with that, and it's like it's empty. You're like, yeah, I know, I've just created it. Don't tell me there's an error. So if it's set schema constant content, if is set content in the body, what we want to do is this. We want to do body. Again, go back to the schema constants content, and is equal to that, but cleaned. So we would do what we would do a strip tags. And then here we would do this set body, passing back the body. So this is our little cleanup. Whoa, sorry about that. Where's all the windows gone? Yeah, so this is our little cleanup routine. It'll go through, it'll check whether these things are in here, and then it will clean them. Right, so let's run the test. Can I focus on that test for a second? If we go to the course thingy here. So let's get rid of all of this stuff. This is search, this is, let's do document. So it's just a nice little pattern to I don't know if this is going to work or not. Again, this is just pouring out of my mind. Okay, so we did strip the tags out. However, there is this. Okay, right. So yeah, technically there's no space between that. That's annoying. So learn how to create websites. 7 in is here. Okay, so that worked. There's a problem there. I'm gonna have to sort that out. I'm gonna have to do something clever with putting in spaces around the tags or something like that. But essentially, what I now have, what I've just built, is a factory that creates things, a blog and a course at the moment. I don't like it. Not in the slightest. I can probably do something a little bit more clever with the index name to actually instantiate a document that comes off of the back of this. I mean, it's using course and it's using blog, right? So we could probably do something there. So we could, I'll do that in a minute. And then, so in the document factory here, we've got this. So we make a document factory, then we instantiate a document factory, we make the index, which means that we should be able to then do document clean, regardless of what this is. And then eventually, I guess I would like to do, I mean, it won't come off of the factory, but we would do something like, eventually, this is pseudocode now, so eventually we would have like indexer, send, and then we would put in the document, and we would have the pass in the interface, and then in our send routine we could then do document clean before it gets sent. See what I mean? Anyway, let's tidy this up, because this isn't great. So we pass in the index here, and the index is either going to be blog or course at this merry stage. Let's do some refactoring around here, because this is not nice. Let's do document is equal to a new index name dot document. I mean, I'm not a fan of doing this either. And I think I'm gonna have to do UC first. I don't think there's any need for that. Yes. I don't know. Does this work? Or have I just killed it? Let's just run the whole search. No, I have killed it. Yeah, all right, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's just do that for a second. I mean, we could if we did, we could do class. We could do it like that. But the thing is, we are coupling the index name to this. Maybe we don't need the index name because these know what the indexes should be, right? So maybe we should call this type, right? And, or even better, class name. So course document class name and then blog document class name. Whoa. Laptop is... That's all right. Blog document class. And then let's not bother dealing with that. There's no need. The documents should know what they are, where they're going, I think. And I guess, I mean, we need to test for this as well. So in our tests themselves, in here, this should be class name. A little bit like doctrine, I suppose. So that should be course still. And that should be blog. And the idea, let's just run tests a minute. It's gonna fail, but that's fine. It'll tell us what to do. It's one good thing about tests. They kind of tell you what you need to do. Here we go. Cannot create index with courses. Cannot create with blog. So this is because these things need to be set. So this would be course document class, and this would be blog document class. Let's run those. Okay, so this is where the index name doesn't exist. So, whoops. What we could do on the actual instantiation of these things, when we did public function constructor, we could do this index name is equal to, or even better, we could just do protected index name is equal to blog. There we go, and then that would be course. There we go. Okay, so there, that's good. That's good. I think that kind of makes sense in my head. I don't like this. Don't like it at all. But I think, I mean, the clean routine is good. Let's say, for example, we wanted to clean up the blog, right? And let's say in type, let's just copy that, put that into the blog. I mean, none of this actually exists in, like, there's no, I haven't done got an Elasticsearch Docker container yet. So I'm literally playing with this. So this would be blog. Okay, let's say that we've got an excerpt. There we go, and this will have something like let's just pick on an example. There we go. So how to reduce your Docker image size. And what's the P on here? Oops. Okay, and then I guess the clean version of this Okay, so, and right. So we're going to instantiate a blog document. The blog document has an excerpt on it. So what we can do to test that out is, well, let's just run the test against search again. Okay. What's wrong there? Doesn't look like I've got enough. I've got that little hack together there, so it's joined. There's a full stop at the end. Ugh. Anyway, I could probably take the actual. Dirty and clean. We're putting in dirty, and then we should get clean back. Oh. I haven't actually written the code yet, that's why. TDD. Okay, of course. So it's going to be very similar to this. It's following the interface. So we have a clean method, which is good. But this needs to roll on the excerpt. Now, I don't think we have this. No, we don't. So I need to go back to here and just grab this, and then go back to here, and then put in public const. EXCE, that should be EXP. I think that's how you spell it. Not 100% sure. Let's just have a Google. Okay, yeah. Okay, so if we go back to the blog document, this should be that, and that. So if we run this, it should pass. Hopefully. Yeah. Okay. So now each of my documents that I send to the indexer, to Elasticsearch, needs to have a clean routine. Needs to have a clean routine. That's fine. That's good. And I'll just add things to this as they go. And I mean, I may explicitly say that we have a excerpt here. And I may explicitly say on the old course that we have a content section. I don't know. I haven't really worked this through yet. Whatever it is, it needs to go into the body at the end. So I don't know. Haven't thought that through yet. If this is a little bit less explicit, and I'm not, I would prefer it if it was. So maybe having like a getter setter on that, and then having a clean, and it goes through each one of the properties. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. I'm now completely doubting my structure. But, meh. Anyway, it's 2300 hours. I'm going to get some kip. Got a busy day at work tomorrow. So, thank you ever so much for watching. Happy coding, everybody. And, stay safe and take care. Cheers. Bye-bye.